Bride of the Bound Part 1. In the village of Nobi, there was a forest no one dared to enter. They called it the Forest of Threads. They spoke of a spirit woman who lived deep within the trees. Her name was Obianuju, the Weaver Bride. She was neither dead nor alive, a woman abandoned at the altar long ago, who now spent eternity weaving the destinies of men who wandered too close. No one who entered her forest ever returned the same. But Anio had nothing to lose. His wife had died in childbirth, and the child never took a breath. Anio left his compound with no farewell, no shoes, and no hope. He walked past the village shrine. He passed the sacred river. He entered the Nobi forest. The trees closed behind him like a curtain, swallowing the path. And then, she appeared. Obianuju, seated beneath an ancient tree, weaving with fingers that glowed like moonlight. She was draped in white silk. Her hands never stopped moving. She did not look at him, yet she spoke, her voice like wind in a clay pot. You came with sorrow. I can smell it. Anio fell to his knees. Not in fear, but in surrender. I came for mercy, he whispered. She looked up. If you want your story rewritten, she said softly, then give me your soul, in pieces. He didn't understand. She continued, 7 nights. 1 story each night. Let me know who you are. Then, I will decide your fate. He nodded. The forest sighed. The wind wrapped around him like a thread. And the first knot was tied. Bride of the Bound. Part 2. Anio sat beneath the ancient tree, but the forest felt heavier now. Obianuju's fingers moved like wind, weaving threads that glowed brighter with each pass. He wanted to speak, but every word in his throat turned to thread. You wish to be free from grief, she said without looking up. But freedom has a price. 1 glowing strand broke in her hand. She froze. The gods bound me to this loom, she whispered. Every story I weave steals something from me. Anio's breath caught. I am not a bride by choice, Anio, she said, golden eyes finally meeting his. I was offered to keep the forest alive. The wind grew stronger. Threads wrapped around his feet. He tried to stand, but the forest wouldn't let him. You have already stepped into the binding, Obianuju said softly. And now your story must be woven. He tried to stand, but the forest wouldn't let him. Invisible threads gripped his ankles like fingers made of light, soft, but unbreakable. Bride of the Bound, Part 3. Anio pulled against the invisible threads, but they tightened with every breath. The forest groaned, not from wind, but from memory. Obianuju's loom glowed brighter. The threads around Anio pulsed in rhythm with her weaving. He cried out. The sound echoed, but no one heard it. I warned you, she said gently, standing now, her feet barely touching the earth. This forest does not return what it binds. A golden thread slipped into his chest, not piercing, but merging. He gasped, clutching his heart, as visions rushed in, lives he had never lived, pain he had never felt. What is this? He cried. Obianuju stepped closer, golden eyes glowing. These are the stories you carry. The ones you've forgotten. The loom wove faster. Threads of his past wrapped around her arms like fireflies. He fell to his knees. Stop, please. Obianuju hesitated, for the first time. Then she whispered, I cannot unweave what the gods have chosen. And with a final motion, she pulled one last thread through his soul, and the forest went silent. Bride of the Bound, Part 4. Anio could no longer move. The threads wrapped him like a cocoon, not to trap, but to transform. The forest pulsed with breath, as if the gods themselves were listening. I came here to ask why she died, he said, tears falling. My wife. Amoka. The gods took her. And I've been screaming inside ever since. Obianuju's hands paused at her loom. Her voice trembled. The gods don't steal, Aneo. They choose. Just like they chose me. He looked up. So she was chosen. She was light in a darkening world, Obianuju whispered. The veil between life and death was breaking. Amoka's soul mended it. The wind shifted. Between the trees, golden mist rose, and from within it, a figure appeared. Amoka. Smiling. Glowing. Oh. Aneo gasped, choking on emotion. Amoka. Her lips didn't move, but he heard her voice in his soul. Life, Aneo. You were never meant to carry the grief forever. The threads fell away from his body like ash in sunlight. Obianuju stepped back, eyes soft. You have been unbound. Aneo stood slowly. The weight in his chest, gone. He looked around. The loom had vanished. So had she. Only the whispering trees remained, and golden petals falling from the sky.